with all due respect.
Hey, we're Josh Ortegon and Gray Gaines, and this is With All Due Respect, the show where we keep it real about health, fitness, and performance. From weight loss to sports development, we're covering the conversations that matter.
Follow us on Instagram at Phenom Fitness, PHNM Fitness, and visit www.phenomfit.com to check out our training programs, coaching, and gear built for real results. Let's get into it.
Okay, it's recording. Apparently, correct, Gray? Is it recording? I don't know.
Recording on my end.
What episode is this, Gray?
That's a great question.
92?
92, I think.
92? So, with all due respect, 92, Josh and Gray, we're here with Reagan Hooks. And Gray, 2 weeks ago, said, I want to bring a bodybuilding type figure, fitness competitor, somebody that's brought on stage. And I said, well, I got a girl. I didn't think about this until I saw your social pop up. And I was like, I got a girl I've known since she was 10. 10 years old, believe it or not. And that is horrible to say and makes me feel really old, right? But I think the first time you ever came into Athletes Arena was you were having back problems.
Yeah.
And you were probably 10 years old and you were like 5'7".
Yeah.
And Gray, I put her on her back and distracted her hip and put her SI joint back in. And I felt like when I popped it back in, I felt like I could have pulled her leg off too. She was like 10 years old. I was like, I'm gonna pull this leg right off and stick it back in there, right? And I tell you, it has been really fun watching this journey because I know you, I know your family, your brother basically lived at our gym for like forever. And it's crazy when you tell me, like you did in our pre-conversation, well, I'm 22. And I'm like, you're only 22? I feel like I've known you so long, you should be like 30, right? But thank you for coming on. And this started, great. Can you kind of tell people, like, what motivated you to want to, like, bring this on?
I think a huge piece of the nutrition and exercise equation is like very much educating on what it actually takes to be a figure competitor, to be a bodybuilder. And so my biggest thing was, as we were talking about when we before we hit record, is a client will come to you and say, all right, well, I want to look like this. And I think most people don't know what it takes to be in the best shape of your life. Most people don't know what it takes to exercise in the most intense way. Like I know, Reagan, you said that you were training for an Ironman, and I'm excited to talk about that. So I really wanted people to hear what it takes nutrition-wise, what it takes exercise-wise, where your intensity lies, what the sacrifices you have to make are. Because I want people to be very realistic when they come to us and say, I'd like to look like this.
Yeah. I also want to hear, do us a favor, go through because when somebody says, well, I've been doing CrossFit for 8 years, you don't think about it as somebody that started it when they were 13.
Yeah.
Right? Give us your exercise journey, if you can, where you started, what you saw, what you did, and kind of your competition. Give us that breakdown.
Yeah. First, thank you for having me on. This is awesome. I can talk about this stuff literally all day.
Yeah, me too.
It's like
I get
my
it.
favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I grew up playing sports. I played softball and volleyball my whole life, and then got to my sophomore year of high school. And long story short, I was interning in a physical therapy office at the time. It's what I wanted to do for a living. And so I ended up homeschooling and finishing my last 2 years of high school homeschooling. So I was able to skip my sophomore year, started homeschooling, and it was about the time my brother was going to go to Citadel. And it was over the summer, and he's like, hey, look, I was like 14 at the time, I was about to turn 15. He was like, look, if you're going to homeschool and like you're not going to play sports, you're going to work out. And I was like, oh my God, like, leave me alone, whatever. Well, sure enough, he gets me in the gym and he's like, you're going to do CrossFit with me. Hated it. Every single part of it. I will never forget the first workout was shoulder to overhead and running. I burned it the first round and I was crushing everybody. And then, second round hits and you're like, what did I do to myself? That feeling like you cannot return from,
Right.
And I was like, this sucks. Like, I hate this. And he would try and get me to go with him the next day. And I'm like, it's 7 a.m. in the summer, like, leave me alone, you know? But he's very persuasive, and he's like, get your butt in the car, like, we're going. Well, by the time the summer was over, like, I had become friends with people at the gym, and if I didn't go, they would text me. And so he's going to the Citadel. He's gone. I had Shane at Athletes Arena and all of those guys texting me like, hey, like, why aren't you at the gym? And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to go. Like, this sucks.
That's how you get roped in 100%.
Exactly. And, you know, it started with like 3 or 4 days a week in the morning. Jason Hopper was coaching, and half the time, I swear we were just talking. Like, I was doing wall balls, like having a conversation, the most leisurely pace you could imagine. I'm like, just checking this off the list, whatever. The more I did it, the more I fell in love with it. And I think I started to fall in love with the feeling after. Like, you know, you lay on the floor and like you think about what you just did and like what it means for yourself. And I fell in love with the process and the progress of getting better. Like, there were things that I wanted to do. I was like, I want to deadlift 200 pounds. Like, I want to squat this. I want to squat that, like whatever. And I just fell in love with the fact that every single day you got a step closer to it, you know? And then it would happen and you're like, oh my gosh, this is cool. Like, I never thought that I could do this. This is awesome, you know? And so fell in love with it, started coaching at Athletes Arena. And then when I went to college, I went to South Carolina. I moved to Carolina CrossFit, like near the campus, and got into a group there with people that competed. And I would never would have expected that I would have fallen into this. But they were like, hey, like, you're athletic and all you do really is work out at this point. Like, I just loved being at the gym, whether I was working or working out, like I was just always there. And they were like, you should like try, like you should like really give it a go and like see what happens. And sure enough, I did my first competition. I did Freedom Games in like 2020, 2021, something like that.
So how old were you? You were 17?
17. I was a freshman at South Carolina. Yeah, I was a freshman at South Carolina, 17, my first competition. And so we got dead last. Like, we did terrible, okay? I made the girl do the RX division with me. So there's divisions in CrossFit. I was like, if I'm competing, we're going to compete in the hardest division because I'm not doing this against some elementary schoolers. Like, if I'm here, we're going to do it, you know? And like, first workout, ripped my hands all the way through, just like bleeding from the start. Had never worked out this amount in a day before in my whole life. I was so embarrassed by the end of the day. I was like, how can I ever consider myself a CrossFitter? Like, this is terrible, you know? And I was like, I'll never let that happen again. And so went back into the gym literally like the next day, I think. And I was like, I will do everything in my power to never let that happen again. And from that moment on, started training with the competitive group, hired a coach, and that's probably where my nutrition story starts. Because at this point, I was probably eating 1,200 calories a day, like a Cliff Bar and some peanut butter and some grilled chicken nuggets from the Russell House. And I was like, this is plenty. I am fuel.
Plenty.
This is great. You know, I'm like,
And Reagan, just to give people context, you and your brother are very regular, genetically thin, like tall, long, thin. So like,
at this point, I'm like 5'10" and like 15.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I didn't want to throw a number out there. Yeah.
No, I was 100% like a baby deer. Like watching me run around and like do things. Like, people are like, "Oh my God, you're gonna break your tibia. This is not good."
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm like training for like 3 or 4 hours a day, and you know, doing all these other things. And one of the coaches at the gym is like, "Are you like eating enough?" And I'm like, "I'm eating plenty. I had a Cliff Bar today. It's like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I had a Cliff Bar today.
Yeah.
I had chicken nuggets. Like, I am fine." And they were like, "This is not good." And they were like, "You need to start tracking your macros, like because you don't eat enough." And they were like, "You're not going to eat enough unless you see it on paper that this is what you need to hit and this is what you need to do." And I'm a very goal oriented person. So I'm like, okay, you just tell me what I need to do. I'm going to do it. And I think I've had like eating issues and food issues my whole life because just like looking at the amount of food that they were telling me to eat, I was like, I'm going to be obese. There's no way. I was like, I'm going to be obese. the other big thing is I was like, I'm going to be so bulky. I'm going to look like these top female CrossFitters if I eat 1,800 calories a day. Like, absolutely not, you know? But started tracking macros my freshman year of college, started eating the more appropriate amount, slowly increased my food. And I was like, my weight started going up, the barbell started going up. I was getting so strong. I was getting so fit. I was like, okay, I'm not obese yet. This is great. I was like, this is working exactly. This is awesome, you know?
Yeah.
And long story short, I ended up competing through a gym in Greenville where I live now called Crash. And this is probably one of the biggest gyms in the Southeast. It's where Jason Hopper trains. It's his home gym. And I started going up there like 3 days a week. So when college went online with COVID, I was like, F it, I'm moving. I'm up here all the time anyway. So I moved up here my junior year and started like really training. Like when I moved here, like this is like the Mecca, you know? And got into all of that, trained and gave it my all for like 2 or 3 years. And I hit a point when I graduated college where I was kind of just outside the bubble of like, I could do this for a living. Like I was just outside of that, you know? And I think it took a lot of diving deep into myself to just like come to terms with like, you're 5'10". You'll never be able to squat as quick as somebody that's 5'1". You're not going to probably ever be as genetically strong as somebody that's 5'1" and built like a bulldog. And and you know, with how CrossFit's going, like you cannot work a 9 to 5 and compete at a high level. Like you just can't do it anymore. Like these people do it for a living.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I really want to work in medical device sales. This is what I want to do for a living. I'm going to pursue a job. It's so hard to get a job in medical device sales. I was like, I'm going to pursue a job. If I find one, I'm going to let go. And the way that it all happened is probably a story for another time, but the Lord dropped a job into my lap. And I was like, all right, like I'm going to try. I'm just gonna have to let go of it. And of course, like medical device sales, like I work like 7 to 6 most days. Like it is insane. And I was like, well, I can't be a normal person. Average is my biggest fear. I was like, how can I compete in something while holding this job? Like what can I do? And I was like, well, let's look at the factors here. I work from like 7 to 6. I really don't have time to eat during the day anyway. And I was like, Crunch is open at 4 or 5. I could do cardio. I can lift. And I really don't have time to eat in the middle of the day. Bodybuilding prep. That's perfect.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is great. So literally, I actually, the first show I did, I used my CrossFit coach and I was like, hey, we can guinea pig this thing. I'm not stressed. I just want to try it. I just want to see what this is like.
Yeah.
And I started prep for my first show. And I mean, it's so funny, like looking back, like my first prep was so incredibly easy because I was working with a CrossFit coach and we had no idea. And I was like, yeah, this is hard, you know, whatever. My food went down. I was training it from like 4 to 7 in the morning. And then I would work from 7 to 5. And then I'd literally just go home and go to bed, you know? And then did a show with him. And then I was like, I love you, but if I'm going to do this, we're going to like do it right. And so I went and I hired a real bodybuilding coach and his name's Ty Woosley and he's with Prestige Physiques out of Arkansas. Incredible guy. Like I can't say enough good things about him. Incredibly smart, so smart with hormone health, so smart with food,
Right.
just he's been doing it forever. And one of my friends had used him for a show and she was like, if you're going to use somebody, you got to use this guy. And I was like, all right. And he took me from like January of 2025 and we wanted to compete that year, but I had to go through a bulk. Hate that. Not a good time. Not a good time. I started with him and I was like 160 and I was like, I am massive. I could not be any bigger if I tried. And then he put me on 3,500 calories a day and I got up to 175 and I was like, okay, it's time to, I was like, I'm taking up too much space.
Yeah.
You need to take me down.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. And so we started prep in May of 2025 and I completed like a 20-week prep, did 2 shows in October of 2025, qualified for nationals, had a 4-week period in between the last show and nationals, which was the longest 4 weeks of my entire
Yeah.
existence.
Yeah.
Probably genuinely the hardest 4 weeks of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and competed in November. And then December 1st, I decided to start training for an Ironman. And now it's February 11th, and I'm 93 days away from my Ironman. So that's my fitness timeline.
Did you? No, I love it. And I think what the coolest thing is like, I remember when I moved away to Georgia and I came back and I walked into Athletes Arena. I hadn't seen anybody for like 3-4 years, right? And it was like, I think I left in 2015, 16. I came back 2019. And I ain't seen anybody for like 3 years. Nobody's seen me. And I walked in and Shane goes, "Oh, you remember Reagan, right?" I'm like, "Right." I'm like, "What? Wait, what happened?" Like, what do you mean? What do you mean Reagan? No, that's like Reagan 3 years from now. It's not Reagan. Reagan's like, long blonde hair and gangly like a dread. Like, that's not Reagan. What are you talking about? No, that's not at all. That's not at all. But I think it's cool that like you got at Athletes Arena and then you met Jason Hopper there and when he was just a kid and then you start training and then you follow that timeline. And it sounds to me that you just like competing at something. And like you're a naturally competitive person. What happened? Like, so you're going to be, when do you turn 23?
July.
Okay. You're going to be 23 years old and you would have competed in a bodybuilding style figure show, CrossFit, and did an Ironman. All by the time of 23 years old, right?
My Jordan year, baby.
Yeah, your Jordan year. By the Jordan year, you're the GOAT year. You're going to be having competed in all those things.
Yeah.
Do you envision a time where fitness or competition is not a part of your life?
No.
Like at 23,
No.
it's always going to be there. Yeah.
No. And I love telling people that. Like, the reason that one of the biggest things to me about like going from discipline to discipline and like trying all these different things and whatever is so many people in the fitness world love to say like, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And like, you need to find your hard and like, you need to, whatever.
Cliche. We're cliche. Yeah.
Very cliche. Okay. And here's the thing. I 100% agree. But the hard part is that so often people say that while they're going for their exact same 3-mile run that they do every single day. Right. And yeah,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Ouch.
This is
No.
yeah,
You're like, you're just, yeah.
All
That's the name of it. Yeah. That's the name of the show. Yeah, I get it.
And this is gonna hurt people's feelings, but I genuinely feel this way. They go for their same 3-mile run at their same 9-minute pace, and they're like, find your hard and get comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm like, you know what? I hate to say it, but at some point your hard isn't hard anymore, and your uncomfortable isn't uncomfortable anymore if you're allowing yourself to adapt and do the same thing all the time.
Totally agree.
And the biggest thing to me is that I'm not afraid to really effing suck at something for 3 months in order to experience something that I've never had before. And that has been what I have started to realize. More than competing, I love learning to adapt. I love learning the process, and I love seeing how little changes and little factors and little things just completely change the outcome of what you want, right? And so, yes, I do love competing. I love it. But I love the process of getting there even more.
But this is learned, right? Like, you have to learn to do that, which means the first time this goes all the way back down to the first time your brother drug you out to do CrossFit. And you completely sucked on one round and you were done. Like,
yeah,
you had to be exposed to that at 13 years old because now you're 10 years later. You had to learn that you can do something. It's going to be hard. You keep doing it. You're going to get better and you'll have reward on the back end. I think those are learned behaviors. Do you think those are more learned behaviors, or do you think that had to do with just part of who you are genetically, or is there a combination? Like, is it internal, intrinsic in you?
I think it's a little bit of both,
Okay.
truthfully. I think it's a little bit of nature and nurture, but I think that a lot of it, I think there's a lot of like great factors and a perfect storm of events that kind of led me to this place. And I think that a lot of it had to do with being in the athletes arena environment and, you know, watching, like, one, you remember, like, you're with professional baseball players in there. Different sport. But like, I'm sitting in there, like, working out next to Zach Godley and Christian Walker, and like, that's really cool. Like, you're around excellence all the time.
Yeah,
right?
that was a weird environment because, like, we'd have grandma, we'd have jujitsu people on the mat, we'd have grandma, we had like 12-year-old girl from a knee surgery, and then like $20 million worth of contracts. Like, it was a really weird. It was a really weird environment.
Yeah, melting pot. For sure.
And we did have people. We would great. We'd have people that come and like their kid would come for like a week, and the parent would be like, "Hey, this is just too competitive of an environment for my kid."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm sorry. And Gray, you know this. Like, I'm really high intense. I'm burning the candle at both ends 24/7. It's naturally going to be competitive. I don't know any other way to live. So the business you have is going to be the same exact way. Like, it's going to mimic the environment, right?"
Listen, that is
100%.
something we lose. Like, and I teach because a lot of people that I work with are 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And that is something we lose as we get older, is that like competitive drive, that competitive spirit. And that's a huge piece of what I coach to my clients. I'm like, I don't need you to go and run a marathon or go compete in CrossFit or do any of that, but you've got to find something that you're competitive with, because you're right, what you said, Reagan. Like, you going and lifting the same 20 pounds, the same 40 pounds, that doesn't do anything for you.
That hits home
right?
to
You're not
so many
building
people.
anything.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is
that.
cliche. I mean, that's a home run comment you just made. I hope people got that. Everybody talks about getting comfortable, find your hard, getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. Meanwhile, we walk out and we live the same day over and over and over again. In the fitness world, we do the same 3 runs, right? We do the same, we do the same thing over. And as you say that, it's actually pruning for me, because when I go back and I look at everything in life, I go, like, right now, I'm like, well, am I doing things that are easy just because they're routine and they're easy and I'm not growing? Like, when you say that thing, you don't have any other way to like look, but a natural competitive person is going to look intrinsically when they hear that, because when you hear that, you're accountable to it. I really do believe it, right? Once you hear it, you're accountable to that change. And I'm like, man, are there so many things I do? And I like 3 or 4 things like pop in my head that I do in like my fitness workout, like routine or food, that I'm just like, ugh, I do that. Ugh. And like it almost gives me like this vomit, like, ugh, you're right. But like, I want to go towards, because when you put it on us before this that you're going to do an Ironman, I'm like, I don't know about degrees of difficulty, and maybe it's just because of my own personal preferences, right? I was never built to run. I'm built
like a bulldog.
Yeah, I'm the bulldog. I'm built to lift weights, eat food, and fight people. I'm 100%, and I'm good at it. Those 3 things I can do. I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
But like, doing an Ironman, I'm like, that's above. I feel that's a little bit different than being a CrossFit competitor. I've stepped on stage and done the bodybuilding thing. That's absolutely 22 weeks of misery. People will never understand. You learn more about yourself in 22 weeks than you ever. It is isolation.
I tell people all the time, I don't care what you think of the sport, you will be a better person after a bodybuilding prep. I don't care, I don't care if you ever actually step on stage. If you do it the way that it's intended, you will never look at life the same.
Never.
I thought about this in Publix today, because I knew that we were going to have this conversation.
Yeah, great.
And it's like the little things. Like, I was standing there looking at the grapes during prep. Like, you don't taste the grapes. I didn't buy grapes, but like, you can't stand there and be like, oh, like, I wonder if this is a good batch, and like eat a grape.
No, no, because that counts.
You don't do that.
That has value.
counts.
Yeah.
It counts.
It
And
yeah. Yeah.
at the end, when I was down to 35 grams of carbs in an entire day, I'm like, that's actually like
That's a cup of
like
grapes.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's no, yeah, literally. And I'm sitting there and
Yeah.
like, and I'll never forget, like, I mean, that's how the last probably 2 or 3 months of my prep was. And like, you walk through a grocery store and like, I didn't eat a sweet potato for like months because it was too many carbs. It was too many carbs,
Yeah.
you know? And so I say all of this to say, like, when you get out of it and you can now appreciate trying a grape before you buy them in the store, your life has changed.
Yeah, it is. It
Your
is.
life has changed.
And you know what? I competed in I was probably your age when I did a show, right?
Yeah.
And it's been so long, but I still think I've done cuts and diets. I've gotten back down to 6 and 5% body fat, which is stupid low, and played with it. And like, because of that environment, I can walk into, you can surround me with any of my greatest foods in the world. You really could. You could walk me into any place with 1,000 people eating them, having fun. And if I'm not supposed to eat it, it does not faze me at all. Like there's nothing, like if I know that what I have to do today from a caloric intake level, I don't care if there's 1,000 people eating my favorite foods in front of me, throwing them in my face. It phases my heart rate and my blood pressure goes zero. It doesn't matter.
Same. Yeah.
But to say that, an Ironman feels up a level. Now, I don't know if that's because it's up a level because that's not what the good Lord would ever intend me to want to do in my life ever. But that borders, to me, you gotta be almost a crazy person. You have to almost be like you hear those people that you feel, yeah, right. You hear those people that do those 100-mile runs in Arizona. You ever seen those? And you're like, what happened to him as a young child
No, there's just like
to do these 100-mile runs in the heat?
I think there's this like this gene mutation of sorts because I have this I would never run 100 miles and I don't think I'd ever do an Ironman, but you could probably convince me. There's a certain gene and you like look at something, you're like, I could do that.
Can you swim? Like, do you swim?
I do now.
Do you swim?
That's
right.
the whole thing.
Might not have a choice. I better swim. I hope I can. Yeah.
I'm going to be so for real. I still
Yeah.
haven't ridden a bike outside since I was 3.
And
You
now
better
you're
get
gonna-
on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. Listen, my bike trainer gets some miles. I have not yet. Ridden. I mean, one, it's freezing. But two,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, F it, we're going to figure it out. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
I have a friend of mine. Go
I
ahead.
love that. Like, I just love that, like, F around and find out mentality. And I think it's probably because, like, once you do a bodybuilding prep and once you do CrossFit, and truthfully, like, I think a huge part of all of this is that I've learned how to do all of it while holding my job, which is just a lot. And so like, I train at 4 a.m. every day, and I train at 7 o'clock at night most days, right?
Yeah.
Like, regardless of the day, you get it done, you figure it out, you wake up ready to go. And so I think that sometimes, like, you look at challenges like that and you're like, okay, like, I've done a bodybuilding prep, like, I've been in the depths of hell. I can do
Yes,
that.
it is the depths. It is the depths of hell.
Well, and I think that it's like, it gives you this like level of confidence in yourself that you're like, I don't really have confidence that I can do it, but I know that I can figure it out. And if I can figure it out, I can do it.
Yeah.
You know?
So when I did my bodybuilding show, there's a lady at the gym, and she came up to me one time, and she's like bragging about, like, well, men could never do pregnancy. And I'm not comparing the two. It's just, it's fun to like stab somebody in the side and just walk away and be like, I did a 22-week bodybuilding show. I could do pregnancy. Like, I know that's not like, somebody's gonna see this and like, I'm gonna get emails or someone's gonna message me and be rude. I said it tongue in cheek, joking, but you kind of feel that way after you do a show. And you get on stage, and you feel that way. Like, my family didn't see me for 6 months. My mom came to my show and looked at me like I was dying. My mom looked at me and went, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I can't wait for 9 o'clock tonight. I'm not okay, Mom. I'm not."
Yeah.
But my family looked at me like, "You don't look good." I'm like, "No, this isn't good. This isn't healthy at all. There's nothing about this that's healthy." Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, when I stepped on stage at nationals, I'm 5'10", 5'11". I got down to 135, and my in-body test said that I was 5.1%.
Wow. Okay, I want to take this.
Yeah.
When you say that and this is you kind of talked over this and kind of skipped over this, but this is, I caught you saying it because, of course, we're in the industry. You said, my coach is really good at hormone health.
Mm-hmm.
You as a female, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to make sure you're not doing irreversible damage to your body at this point, correct?
Yeah, especially being natural.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a part of
Okay.
it too. Just because like you don't have anything to supplement with. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Does a coach help you track all that?
Yes, mine did. Good ones
Okay.
do.
The good ones
That's
too. The good ones help. Yeah.
There's a big distinction there, and I think like
Yeah, there is.
truthfully,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be so honest. Like I am not knowledgeable enough to like give people great advice when it comes to hormone health. I'm like a sled dog. I'm like, you tell me what to do, I got it. Like I don't really know what it means beyond that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever. But my specific coach, one of the reasons I loved working with him was because I talked to probably 4 or 5 coaches before I picked one. And the biggest thing that mattered to me was, you're not putting me on drugs. Like I have too much that I want to do outside of this bodybuilding world that I'm not gonna take anything. And he was the only one that was like, absolutely, like we will keep you healthy, we'll get you shredded, we'll get you exactly where you need to be, and I'm never going to tell you to take that, like ever. I was like, all right, great. And he's been doing it for like 15 years. He's got a bunch of different certifications, and the craziest thing about him is that outside of contest prep, he has more lifestyle clients that come to him with gut issues and hormone issues.
Yeah, good. Okay.
That use him not for prep, but just to get their body back right without having to be on prescriptions.
Yeah,
So,
great.
he's wonderful.
So I do want to say that like to women out there, because there are women that'll come to us, and even girls that come to us for like just help for losing body fat. They're like, man, I'd really like to get down to this one time just to see it. And I go, yeah, I don't think.
Dangerous.
Yes, I don't think you understand that if you're just doing this so you can get up one morning and look in the mirror, the juice is not worth the squeeze. It is not worth that being that lean.
No, and let me tell you the after, because it's not maintainable, the after is awful. Like
Psychologically? Psychologically?
Oh, yeah. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Especially as somebody, I probably should have thought about this, but especially as somebody that has had food issues my whole life and like issues like with that, the reverse is 100% harder than the depths of prep, because at the depths of prep you're like, I look awesome.
Your skin is so thin.
Good. Yeah. You look in the mirror and you're like, I have ab veins and I don't even know what like, this is crazy. But then the reverse happens, and like you are so distorted that like literally my parents thought that, I think that they were gonna take me to a mental hospital. They were with me for like, so I finished my show and then it was Thanksgiving, and and literally, I mean, for 6 months I didn't eat anything outside my meal plan. So I'm like, Thanksgiving doesn't faze me. I will sit there and I will not eat and I will be fine. My parents were like, Reagan, like, you're done with your show, you're done competing, like it's okay. And my coach is like, it's fine, enjoy the holidays, whatever. I'm like, no. No.
Yeah, it's tough.
And like I think like just to look like a normal person, my brother was like, you need to like eat a bite of turkey in front of the family, or like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Mom's gonna go home and start calling people. So yeah.
Yeah. And so I remember, this is so sad, but like I remember like I would like eat a bite of turkey and then I'd be like, oh my God, what did I just do? And I like came home and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Like, what did I do?
Do you think not enough people consider that side of this when they say they want to compete? The emotional
100%.
side, the psychological side. Yeah.
No one has any idea until you're in that moment. And the people that say that they don't care are lying, or they're men. Most men don't care. But
No,
like,
100%.
yeah, but I'm telling you, every single female I know is like, the after is so much harder than the prep. Like the prep itself is, whatever. Like
No.
it sucks, obviously, but
I want to know, besides like just the food piece of it, and I know you get up early, you train late at night sometimes too. What other
Mhm.
sacrifices are you having to make to maintain physique or just to even get where you want to be? I think that's a huge piece
Like just like for life or for prep?
for
Life.
both.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? I guess what comes to your mind when she says that?
Yeah.
Because we have a conversation all the time, Reagan, just to tell you perspective. Extrovert, her, she, huge extrovert.
Mhm.
Like uncomfortable extrovert for me, right? I like uncomfortable. She's an uncomfortable extrovert. Like my kid is the same way. You go somewhere with Gray, you're gonna meet everybody in the room.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna go to the grocery store, you meet everybody because Gray's there, right?
Yeah.
Highly introverted, right?
Yeah.
Alone time is wonderful. I don't need to go out to eat. Social interactions don't mean that much to me. Not they don't mean they don't lift me up. It's not a need.
Yeah.
My wife wants to be around 24 people, 1,000 people all the time and talk to everybody, meet everybody, and I'm just like, it gives me anxiety because I'm just like, I just want to do nothing. So for
Yeah.
me, the lifestyle of the fitness or jiu-jitsu or whatever fits because the social thing doesn't, it's cool, I guess, right? Is that kind of what you're getting at, Gray? What other
Yeah,
sacrifices? Okay.
totally.
Yeah.
Because, people don't realize that when you go through prep, it might be, I can't go out to eat because that doesn't fit within my meal plan. Or people might not realize when they're going under a really intense training program, I got to get up at 4 a.m. because it's the only time that I have to go work out. It's like, where do you
Yeah.
find the sacrifice? What other things might be around that?
Um, it's such an interesting question. So I would consider myself like an introvert or an extroverted introvert.
Okay.
Like I love people. Like I love social interaction, and I never I think that like when I said like the perfect storm kind of happened for me to morph into whatever type of thing I am. But like I think that I get so much socialization at work because I'm
Hmm.
on 24/7. I'm in the OR with surgeons. Like my brain's constantly going. I'm constantly having conversations. I think I talk on the phone. I'm not kidding with you 15 times a day. Like so much that this is my escape. And
Hmm.
this is like my happy place. And my swims at 4 in the morning when my phone isn't going off is bliss. And um and my runs at 7 o'clock at night when my team is not doing anything and like we're not working anymore is bliss, right? Um but what comes with prep, what comes with wanting to look a certain way, what comes with wanting to do something is a lot of sacrifice. And in those 6 months that I was in prep, like I went out to dinner with surgeons, I went to our I went to our parties, I went to our kickoff meeting. I don't eat. You just sit there and you enjoy the conversation, and you just and you take it on the chin, and people make fun of you, and like it is what it is. Like
Hmm.
here's the thing, and like what I tell people all the time is like, to get something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. And take pity on the people that aren't willing to take that step and will never experience those things because you're
Hmm.
willing to, right? And I think a lot of times like people take this like victim mentality of like, "Ugh, but like I don't get to do that," or like, "Ugh, I can't do that anymore." It's like, you don't want to do that because that's a
Yeah.
step out of like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're going out of the way of your goal. And it's like I
Hmm.
genuinely like feel bad for people that will never take a chance on themselves enough to put themselves in uncomfortable situations in order to experience the things that the world can give you,
Hmm.
like prep or like all these things that seem so hard but they are so incredibly rewarding. And so yes, there is a lot of sacrifice that comes with getting up early or staying up late or not eating at social events or whatever it is. But I think that if it matters enough to you, you're going to make the choice. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't matter as much. And like, you just have to, I don't know, you just have to understand that like every choice you make, it either puts you in a direction one way or it puts you in a direction
Yes.
for another.
Right.
And it's
Hmm.
just,
Right.
and
Right.
and here's the thing is that a lot of time, I mean, when my alarm goes off at 4 in the morning, 9 times out of 10 I would love to snooze the damn thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like when it's like snowing and I have to go swim, like it is cold. And
No,
I
it
get
made me nauseous when he said it. I was like, oh.
yeah, it is not fun. Recently, the gym I go to has not been turning the heater on either. And like that first plunge in the morning, it makes me
Miserable.
so angry. It makes me so angry. But here's the thing is that like when your alarm goes off, I'm truthfully kind of at a point where like I don't question it anymore. Like I get up. Like it's not a choice. Like I never.
Well, because it's what you do. Now it's part of your, it's who you are. It's what you do.
Now, yes.
Right? It's
exactly.
just what I do. Yeah.
But up to this point, it's like when that happens and like you're sitting there and you're making a choice, what's the version of you in 3 hours going to have wanted to do? Like what's your future self going to be so incredibly proud that you did? When you're standing at work or you're sitting at your desk, like you can sit there and be like, nobody here knows I ran 7 miles this morning. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there, and all of that builds that confidence and builds that character to become that person that you want to be. You just got to make the choice, you know?
So there has to be context too here. So like the reason I say some of this, and you do say, well, you were young working out at a gym with a lot of people like it had. And that was, as I gotten older and I looked back and I go, wow, that was a weird place. That was a different kind of place, right? Like that was a weird kind of place. Like you'd have people fighting jiu-jitsu, you'd have CrossFit,
Yeah.
this is a weird place.
Yeah.
And yes, that helped you, but that was your first. I can see that place being your first experience with exercise, going like, oh, this is just how everybody is, and it's not. But like you graduated high school at 16, right? Right. You graduated from college at 20. You graduated college at 20, right? You know, those aren't normal things, right? Like when you tell people you graduated at 16, they're like, what? My sister graduated on her 16th birthday. My sister had a double master's at 20 and lived in Europe at 21. She's different too. Like I'm not saying that, but she's, you know.
Yeah.
But when you tell people you have a pattern, not just in exercise and fitness, you have a pattern in your life from academics, the job you have, the things. Can you point that? I mean, I don't know what I'm getting at, but like, is that just Reagan's DNA? Like, does you know what I'm saying, Gray? And then you just you just happen to be put into a storm where that DNA can flourish. There's a documentary on Prime, on Amazon Prime, and it talks about Wayne Gretzky, the greatest hockey player of all time. They said Wayne Gretzky wouldn't have been Wayne Gretzky if he was born in Orlando, Florida. Right? He was born in Edmonton, and the whole. And there's the book, The Sports Gene, that talks about the wildfire that turns somebody into an excellent environment. Like everything had to happen perfectly to form this thing in the right environment to exceed at this level.
Yeah.
Do you think that the fact that you're going to be 23 years old, CrossFit, bodybuilding, and done an Ironman, graduated at 16, got your job you wanted at 22 years old, you're a high achiever, meaning you have high expectations, high achiever. I have to think that part of this is genetic, but part of this is just like the right person at the right environment at the right time formed this. You say this thing, whatever this thing I am, right? I love that environment too, because like I spend a lot of time in the jiu-jitsu world, and those people are things. They're it's a weird group of people. I sit in the gym sometimes and I'm like these aren't like these people in society are like, these are weird people.
Yeah.
And can you think of anything? Like, was there ever a time that you were 8 years old, and like I watched the Tim Tebow document. Someone says, "Hey, why did you do things that were great?" And they said, "Well, my whole life, my mom told me I was going to do something great, and I guess I just at one point believed her." Like that, I believe in things like that happening. Can you point anything back to something where someone was like, Reagan? Someone said like you were 9 years old and they said, Reagan, there's nothing you can't do if you have every opportunity. I don't know, but like, you know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of the reason, truthfully, like a lot of the reason that I am who I am is like two different things. And one is that I was raised in a very Christian household, and I have carried that faith with me for a long time. And I genuinely, like 100% believe that like the Lord instilled a lot of these characteristics in me and allowed me to be in places that if I chose to grind it out, and if I chose to grit my teeth, and if I choose to like have faith in his plan for me, that I'm going to come out on the other side.
So nothing
And
was an accident, right? Nothing was an accident.
Nothing's an accident.
Yeah.
Nothing's an accident. And
Yeah.
I have so many stories in my life that I could point to and be like, you know, if this and this and this happened, like I'm supposed to be here, like just stuff like that, right? But I think that the other side of this is that my parents, every morning before I would leave for school, my mom would say, "Be loving, patient, and kind in everything you think, say, and do." And then my dad would go, "Yeah, go be a leader."
Yeah. That's how my house is. Yeah, that's how my house is. Yeah.
And I genuinely think that like it's the mixture of those two things. And I tell people this all the time. Like, my mom is one of the sweetest, most nurturing people I've
She
ever
is.
met in
I
my whole
agree.
life.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I've known your mom forever.
She's, she's a first grade, like, she is love, you know? And so I think that with her, I've always been told that I'm a very like joyful person. I love finding joy in hurt. I have a tattoo that says "suffer well," because suffering is so inevitable. If you can learn how to be joyful and love it, you're golden for life, right? So I have a mom that is one of the most joyful people in the whole world, and like, she's teaching me how to radiate joy and teaching me how to just find so much sunshine in everything. And then I have a dad who is has one of the most incredible work ethics I've ever met in a human being. And just like watching him do his job and watching him excel and everything, it's like I had these two people that like, you find joy and you find grit and you mix the two together, and like you just use those two things in everything that you do, and you go full force at it. So, and the other thing that I would never say to his face, but having an older brother like Ryan, like listen, I have some thick skin because of him. These circumstances hurt my feelings. Like, you know, I had him, like, I wanted to do everything he could do, but I wanted to do it better, right? And so I think, like, just growing up like that, with all of those factors combined, it's like, it's just a perfect storm to build you into somebody that is ready to take on anything that comes your way, or that you want to come your way, you know.
That's funny. I like the mom and dad story in the morning, because I have Asher's mom, Rachel, is very emotional with him. She'd be like, "Asher, be kind to people, be sweet, be good to your teachers, and like just be kind to somebody today." And then we'll get in the car, and he'll get ready to get out of the car, and I was like, "Asher," and he's like, "What?" I go, "Keep it gangster." And then he leaves. Like, mom's like, "I love it. Be sweet, be kind, help somebody out." And I'm like, "Asher, just be a gangster at school today, bro. It's okay." like keep it gangster, right? And I feel like that's kind of like the mom dad kind of pushback, but like, I think all of those environments mean something, right? Can you tell us, the Ironman it's a marathon. What's the bike? What's the swim?
The swim, it's a 2.4 mile swim and a 112 mile bike, and then a marathon.
Marathons last?
Marathons last.
You can't swim last, you drown.
I drown swim first. Hey, listen, I drown swim from here to that door in 10 minutes, 10 miles away. Yeah. What is your miles like on the road running right now? What are you running? What are you putting in?
A week right now?
Yeah.
It's probably about 25 to 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long was the bike again? I forget how
112.
long it is.
She said 112.
112. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I do a lot on the weekends. Like my Saturday, like this past Saturday, I had a 63-mile bike into a 4-mile run, and then on Sunday I did a half marathon. So like those are like my big training days.
Yeah. And you have a coach.
Yeah, I have a coach.
Okay. I'm dumb to think, like, oh yeah, that's right. It's dumb for me to think, like, you're not going out here and wait. A buddy of mine in jiu-jitsu got hurt in jiu-jitsu, didn't work out jiu-jitsu, didn't do anything, signed up for a marathon with his wife, and straight thugged out a marathon with his wife.
Yeah, I love
after
that.
A month. Yeah, I was like, did you train for it? We're sitting like at jiu-jitsu. I'm like, he goes, yeah, we're in a marathon last week. Did you train for it? He's like, no, I was hurt for a month. But I already signed up, so I didn't run. I got hurt in jiu-jitsu. I didn't do anything jiu-jitsu, but I went and I thugged it out for a marathon. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, just I started, and I said as well, all I got to do is get through the first mile because I'm not going to quit. He's like, I'm not
Exactly.
there's no way you're quitting, right? Once you start,
100%.
right? That's how I've always addressed tattoos. I'm like, well, I'm gonna start. I'm not gonna quit, right? But I mean, now I'm gonna keep up with. Have you put it out there that you're doing this Ironman?
I'm not a big social media.
Okay, but I've never
girl.
seen anything say. I'll be honest with you. I looked on your social one time and I'm like, oh, she did a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
And then like two
I don't-
pictures before that, you were probably 170 with a weight belt
CrossFit
on.
picture?
Yeah, it looked like you deadlift 405. I'm like, oh my god. Right? No, I know what it was. You put a picture of you doing lat pull downs or something, and I'm like, oh, she's switching it up because like CrossFit ain't gonna do lat pull downs. Right? I was like, she's switching it up. She's trying to get
Never.
big now, right?
Yeah.
Is the only thing you see right now the Ironman? Like, is that like that date is the only date in your life? Anything after that, like anything after that could
I mean,
not exist?
May 16th is a very big day in my
Yeah.
head, yes.
So like May 17th doesn't even exist, right? Like if someone was like, "Hey, what are you doing May 17th?" You're like, "Let me just get through May 16th, bro. I'll tell you that day."
Literally.
Yeah,
Literally, no,
yeah. That's how
for
things like
sure.
that are. Yeah, that's how things like that
For
are.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of one of the things. I mean, I don't. The people I'm like really close to know that I'm doing it, you know. But I'm not a big like social media girl. I just like I like to like keep people updated, and I do like to. It's more of like a journal for me. Like it's like
Yeah.
how I like
Yeah.
keep track of all the things that I
Yeah.
do and like whatever. But yeah, no, May 17th doesn't really exist. If I make
Yeah.
it through, if I make it to May 17th, we'll figure something else out.
Yeah, right. That's how those shows up. Yeah, when I was competing in jiu-jitsu or things like that, and people would be like, if say the competition was like May 3rd, they're like, "Hey, what's May 5th?" I'm like, "Listen, bro, I'm not even sure I'll be here."
No idea.
I go,
Well,
"I'll know on May 3rd." Yeah, May 3rd, I might die.
I literally,
Yeah.
I told my coach, I was like, if I just make it off the bike, I'm gonna be an Ironman. I just gotta make it off the bike. I was like, genuinely, I am more nervous. Everybody's been like, oh my gosh, like I've never done triathlon. So everybody's like, why aren't you doing a half first? Like that's dumb. And I'm like, well, if I did a half first, then there's still a full out there. And like, I just would rather do the hardest thing first. And then,
Yeah, just
you know,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
That's
it's like,
how
Well,
I
you-
felt about running a
Your
marathon.
first, yeah. Gray ran a marathon, but your first CrossFit competition, you're like, we're doing RX, bro. Like, I'm like,
correct. Yeah.
yeah.
Full-
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't dip your toe in, you just catapult
Yeah.
and like figure it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Truthfully, it's the same thing. I felt like I've wanted to run a marathon, but I was like, if I'm gonna run a marathon, I might as well do an Ironman.
Just do an
because a
Ironman.
marathon is far
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Get it all done in one day.
So different.
Get it all. That's a complete. That's a different mindset too, because you're just like, and it kind of like, well, if I'm going to do CrossFit, I might as well compete at CrossFit, right?
right.
And like, if I'm going to lift weights, I might as well do a show,
Yeah.
and like, now I need to do an Ironman. I'm not going to do a half
Yeah, it's
Ironman.
like, oh, what are we gonna think of next? Like,
Yeah, it's like
I have
Everest.
ideas. Don't worry.
yeah.
I have
I'm like,
ideas,
I'm
but
like,
I
dang,
think
you know.
May 16th.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think I've just always been the type of person that's like, if you're going to do something, just do it all the way. Because if you're not going to do it all the way, it's really not worth doing. I'm
Yeah,
very
get it all
much
the way
100
out, bro.
0 or 100%. You know?
Yeah, me and Gray talk. Yeah, I am too. Right.
Yeah.
I tell people like I remember got my first tattoo at 18. I was like, I'm done. And all of a sudden, like 3 years later, I'm like, nope, don't have any skin left. Right. And everything for me, I've always at the best, and I'll say this live. The Gray's name is Gray for a reason. I met Gray for a reason to add gray area to my life because I am black or I am white. I either am obsessed of loved with it or I completely hate it and everything about it sucks. There's no in between, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing in between. I don't when people say like, well, there's context to it. No, there's not. There's no context. It's this or it's that. It doesn't exist. And Gray's always been, Gray in my life has been like, well, there's areas in there. And I'm like, at first I like white knuckle. I'm like, no, there's not. It's 100%. You're either 100% or you're 0. That's it. Like, we're not trying anything halfway. And here's what I will say to this, okay? You mentioned that historically you've had issues with food, right? I have had issues with food. And what I tell people is, listen, I don't know if you're going to truly ever get rid of that mentality, but it's a lot better than meth. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Stop.
Right?
Stop.
Yeah.
I have this conversation all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
And I always say, you know what? Like, it might not be healthy the way that I exercise or the way that I do things,
Yeah.
but at least it's not cocaine.
Yeah, it could be a lot more. That's fine. Meth, cocaine,
I say the same
fentanyl,
thing.
whatever. I tell people, it's
Whatever.
like, hey, I'm going to go all in on something, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
all in. Like, we started a business. I'm all in. There's things I don't just, and I wake up and decide. Like, I'll go to
Yeah.
bed at night, no clue. I'll wake up the next morning and be like, doing it,
Yeah.
right? Doing it.
I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
We love
but
that.
Like with all due respect, I feel like I should preface it with all
Yeah,
due
yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Nothing great happens in moderation.
I am.
hate
Yes.
I hate people that say, I shouldn't say hate people. I hate when people say
Yeah.
that 80-20 is fine. It's not. Like, it's not
Yeah.
if you want great results. Like,
Yeah.
if you want this outcome, it doesn't exist that way. Like, it's either
Yeah.
0 or 100, and you're either all in or you're all out. And like, I just hate, like, I cannot stand when people are like, oh, like, everything in moderation, like, whatever, like, you'll get there if you just have a balanced life. Like, that's not the case.
Yeah.
That is the saddest, like, fallacy of the fitness world, is that, like, you can look like this incredible bodybuilder that's just completely shredded, and you can still drink wine 3 days a week. No, you can't. No, you can't.
No, you can't. Yeah.
No.
Somebody
Depending
recently
on
told
what the
Rachel.
goal is.
Somebody recently told Rachel, my wife. She goes, a friend of ours, and he actually ended up admitting he said this to her. And he goes, I've never met anybody who's hated apathy more than Josh. I just
much.
yeah. There's something about apathetic people, and I put it in a text yesterday to a friend. We're dealing with something where it's people are kind of apathetic about, and I go, you know what? I said, that makes me kind of want to vomit. Like, apathetic people, apathy, like I look at people and I'll look at them like, you know, that James Franco meme where he's looking at that guy upside down. He's like looking at.
Yeah.
I look at them like I'm like, that's gross. Like something about apathy and being apathetic. Something about it.
Yeah.
And I've never been lukewarm. Unfortunately, it's always been hot or cold. And I think it's great. Can it be unhealthy? Yes. Can you be that guy that's always a little bit too intense, a little bit too over the top, a little bit too in your face? Can you always be that person that's like a little bit too extreme? You meet people,
Yeah.
I'm sure, that be like, oh, Reagan, you can skip the swim tomorrow. It's one day.
Oh,
That makes me, you know what, dude? I want to pull your hair out. Like, you say that, that's entering something into my heart that bothers me. Like, you're now eliminated from my life. Like, what you say to me, right?
Now I'm
Right?
going to go swim at 3.
Yeah, and I'm swimming at 3 because you just put some level of weakness in.
Now I'm pissed.
Yeah, and I am not like a rah-rah. I don't. Who's that author, that Marine that wrote that book? That's always like everything
Goggins.
sucks. Yeah,
Goggins.
that's not my personality, right? I'm not like that. I'm not rah-rah. I'm not in your face.
Yeah.
When I started squatting heavy. And I hit PR. Like, don't slap me on the back, bro. Like, there's enough like unhealthy up here. I don't need unhealthy out here. Like, I got it. You don't know what's inside these ears. Like, it's already like, I'm trying to keep it calm and I'm trying to breathe through this squat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a feeling you have that same, a little bit of that same mentality. Yes.
100%. I don't do it for the people around me. You know, like, I don't do it. I don't do it to be able to talk on podcasts, and I don't do it to be able, like, I really don't
No.
and that's the reason I don't really post about it, is because I really could care less if people approve or like what I do. Right.
I say this thing about posting fitness people. Like, I've worked with athletes my whole life. Mm-hmm. The kid that posted the video saying he's grinding while doing speed and agility doesn't do it enough. Mm-hmm.
Correct.
right? Because it's not every day grinding out, because then it becomes boring. You don't want to post about it. It's lame. It's every day, right? It's part of who you are. And like, I don't post when I wake up in the morning. I don't post driving my kid to school because I do it every day, and it's boring. It's like, those are the people that are probably posing, right? Like, those are the people that are probably like, they want some level of affirmation for the one time they go swim at the pool at 4 o'clock in the morning. You do it every freaking day.
Right.
It's just part of life.
Well, and it just makes me laugh, because I'm like, if you were really that busy, you wouldn't have time to do it. I don't have time to do it. Like, let me tell you, the last thing I'm thinking about when I'm, doing an hour and a half bike at 8 o'clock at night is like, I can't wait to show the world what I'm doing. Like, one, I really don't think that anyone cares.
They don't care.
But two, like, I'm like, I need to do this so that I can eat dinner and go to bed. Like, I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And that's it gets back to that first point about like, it's the same people that are like, get comfortable being uncomfortable and do really hard things and like get out of your comfort. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
There's so many, I've had millions and millions and millions of friends that say, I'm going to come do jiu-jitsu. I'm like, yeah, you should. And the biggest lie they say in the jiu-jitsu world is there's this slogan that went around that said jiu-jitsu's for everybody. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not, bro. It's not. When some dude's sitting on your freaking chest, actively choking you, and you're about to pass out, that's not for everybody, right? That's not for a triathlon's not dieting's not for everybody. A triathlon is definitely not for everybody, right? But for the people that do find it, man, it's pretty intense. It's pretty crazy. Like, the right people that find it, the right people find it. You hear like the great things like ideas don't find people, people find ideas, and you hear all that. They get real romantic about it, and it's like, it's not super romantic. I bet 4 o'clock in the morning is not romantic in the pool.
No.
Right. It's probably gritty. It's probably gritty. You're probably like, look in the mirror and you're like, what? Like what the heck? Thank you very much for coming on. This was really awesome. This is here's the deal. You're not an arrogant person, but I'm going to say you're a high performer. I think that goes back to the things to Dad telling you to be a leader. That goes back to maybe the environment you learned in fitness. I mean, Jason Hopper is the best fitness competitor in the world. You got exposed to that at 14 years old. That's not normal, right? Then that's not normal, right? And then you decide you're going to do certain things. You compete, and then you went through so many crappy things that, like, hard things are part of life. Those are high performing people, man, and like. At 22, almost 23 years old, like, man, there's 43-year-olds out there that are like, I wish I did something hard. Like, dude, I'm telling, I know you don't see it because it's part of who you are, but like,
you're wise beyond your years.
Yeah, that is hard. That is hard for people to, like, listen, I have people that are like, well, they just handed me a potato chip, so I ate the whole bag. I didn't know what happened. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, the potato chips were gone, and like, well, it's just cold at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't want to get up and go for a walk. I'm like, even me, I'm just kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, you feel too much. Like, there's too many feelings. Like, I literally told a client this week, she was getting like 20 grams short of her protein intake, and her calories are off. She thought it was good. She's like, well, it's 120. I got to get to 150. I said, you need to die inside and get to 150. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm like, she finally texted me. She goes, I'm completely dead inside. I got to 150. I was like, yeah, you need to just die inside. Like, you need to die inside. You just go until you die inside, and there's no hope, and you got to 150 and go to bed. Right?
Yeah.
There is strength in that. Right? There's strength in that, right? So thank you for coming on. I have no clue. This will come out in a couple weeks. I don't know what today is. I don't even know the date.
I think it's 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not May 19th. Is it May? What day is it?
16th.
May 16th.
Thank you.
We're gonna post it. We're gonna follow you, and I'm gonna make you post stuff about it. And I'm gonna text you one day, and I'm gonna be like, I need a picture at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're gonna tag me in it because I want to see a 4 o'clock picture. Going to the pool.
You're swimming.
Yes, you're swimming.
Thumbs up in front of
yeah, thumbs up in front of the yeah. Thank you very much for coming on. And I know we hooked this up yesterday. Just for people that know this, like, high performers get stuff done in 24 hours. We got this podcast done and put together in 24 hours. So if we can put this together in 24 hours, you can get up tomorrow and go to the gym. All right. Bye, y'all.
F your feelings.
F your feelings. They don't matter.
Oh my gosh.